Aloha! And welcome to Tantamount Studio 808. I'm Psychic Larry.
And I'm Journeyman Dan, and today we're taking a look at Legendary Encounters, The Matrix from Upper Deck.
Legendary Encounters The Matrix is a 1-to-5 cooperative game where you and your friends take the role of Neo and Morpheus, Trinity, and others as we try to take down Agent Smith and the rest of the Matrix.
Like other Encounters games, this is structured with an act deck, so you're going to choose kind of a storyline you want to play through of the three first Matrix movies that came out. And you're going to combine those different acts together. You can play through the storyline, or you can mix and match those acts to make your own story.
We've got a copy of it right here, so let's take a look at it.
Set out the game mat along with the strike deck, hovercraft, time token, and the act cards.
Shuffle together the 4 allies you want to play with and place them in Zion.
Create the Matrix deck by placing the Inevitable card on the bottom. Add the Act 3 deck, followed by Act 2, and then Act 1.
Finally, give each player their starting deck along with their avatar.
On your turn, play the top card of the Matrix deck face down, pushing any existing cards to the left.
You can then play your cards to gain recruit or fight points. If you want to recruit an ally, you must be in the real world. However, if you want to fight anything in the Matrix, you have to move into the Matrix.
While in the Matrix, you can pay fight to scan face-down cards and flip them over. Once revealed, you do whatever they say.
You might encounter an event that happens immediately, an enemy which stays there for you to fight, or a challenge, which will have to be completed at some point.
Challenges are what drive the story forward, so you might see a challenge that says something like, convince Neo that the Matrix is real, and it's going to tell you to do certain things. Once you do that, you flip that act card over and you move on to the next part of the act, or Act 2, and the new storyline takes place.
If an enemy gets pushed into the combat zone, it will strike at the end of your turn. If you are in the Matrix, draw a strike card and put it next to your avatar. If you have left the Matrix, the strike will lower the time track instead.
In order to leave the Matrix, you have to have a telephone available in the Matrix row or the combat zone, but it costs 3 recruit to leave from the combat zone.
Keep taking turns recruiting allies, defeating enemies, and ultimately accomplishing the goal of the final act in order to win the game.
So there are a couple of ways to lose this game, and that is through your heroes getting down to 0 health or that time track getting down to 0 as well. So you do have to manage how that goes.
You also have to pay attention where you are on the board. With this new map, you have to be in the Matrix to fight the bad guys and defeat them in the Matrix, or you have to be outside in the real world in order to recruit and add heroes to your deck.
Yeah, and I really like that concept. I think thematically it fits really well with the Matrix. Just having to decide how you go in and out, when you go in and out, because you can only move once per turn. So you could move into the Matrix and then get stuck because of those telephones, Larry. Those telephones are tricky.
They are. They are hardline telephones, not cell phones, so they don't follow you everywhere. And sometimes the bad guys just camp the telephones and you're just stuck.
Yeah, so you have to be able to clear those in order to leave. If you can't leave, you start getting hit by the bad guys. It can escalate quickly and get out of control.
That's true. Fortunately, Neo is always there to protect you.
That's right. The avatars are a cool aspect of this too. Your starting deck comes with a Free Your Mind card, and it basically triggers whatever your custom avatar is. So like Neo gets fight and draws a card, but it gets better. You get more fight the farther in the game you are. Morpheus, you get recruit, kind of does the same thing. You get 1 recruit or 3 or 5, depending on what act you're in. And there are lots of different avatars that do different things, like draw cards or look at spaces, just giving some variety to each player.
They also have pretty cool standees.
Yeah.
The art on the standees are really nice for each of the avatars.
That mat is crisp. Like that pops out, the black with the green. That looks good.
For sure. So yeah, I really think that the art and the presentation of this game really captures the theme of being in the Matrix and fighting Agent Smith to the death.
Absolutely. And I will say one thing with this game, and really this is any deck builder, any legendary, the randomness can hit you. Before I taught Larry how to play, I think I won 2 out of 5 games against the first scenario, first movie. And then I played with Larry, and it's like, we were burning turns at the end just to try and get to how we had to win. So he's like, this game's easy. I don't know why you had a hard time with that.
Legendary pro here.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is just one of those things. Some cards may make you look at a certain deck and penalize you or reward you depending on what you're seeing. And I would say that's not a knock against this specific game. It's really anything in this genre can kind of hit you there.
Yeah, I think generally just Legendary as a game can fall into that trap where it's random, and if you get the bad cards coming out consecutively too much, you can get stuck behind those cards, and it can just snowball on you and just roll you down. At that point, you just restart the game and try again.
But overall, as you play through the different movies, I feel like it does get harder. Number 3 was harder than number 1.
For sure. There were a couple times we were like, okay, we're going to need a break here.
Close. And I also did like the fact that it's not just like a variation of the same theme. Like, they change how the game ends and how you have to beat it by the time it gets there. So I do appreciate that fact as well.
Yeah, there's definitely some variety, and like you said, you can mix and match some of the campaign elements.
And there's a trader mode if you want to get into having a trader, somebody who's hidden, who's trying to subvert what you're trying to do.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how this game would work with a trader, because I feel like Agent Smith is a trader enough.
Absolutely. So if you enjoy games like Legendary, like The Matrix, or deck builders in general, or you're just a board gamer, check out Legendary The Matrix from Upper Deck, and we'll see you next time for another video review.
Bye!